As you can see, I decided to upgrade to an FM Town's Too Fresh. I loved my original town, and I still have it. Not quite sure what I'm going to do with it yet. But as I mentioned, the CD-ROM door had some issues, which was annoying. But also, the 386 is just a bit too slow. Some games ran very well, some of the older ones, but I was looking so forward to playing through, Ultima Underworld, and it kind of ran like shit on the 386. If you put the settings at the absolute lowest setting, it actually ran pretty smoothly, but doing so, disables all the texture maps, and it just didn't live up to playing it on my old PC. So managed to find this for a decent price, and decided, well, why not? Let's get it. But yeah, I still do have the old one over there, which I haven't fully decided what I'm going to do with yet. So this is the Town's Too Fresh. This particular model is the very basic Fresh, meaning it's a 486 at 33 megahertz with 6 megs of RAM. As you can see, it looks a lot more like a standard PC. It's not quite as cool as looking as the older Towns. It's got more of a standard CD-ROM drive, though it's a lot more sturdy, a lot more reliable, a lot better built. Plus, of course, it doesn't have the cool little equalizer thing for the sound, but it's definitely a far superior machine. It's got a 120 meg hard drive in it. As you can see, it came with a full-size keyboard, which actually weighs quite a bit lighter than the original compact keyboard. That thing weighs a ton. And it came with a pad, a very dirty mouse, but it all runs beautifully. It actually does take a bit less space since it's a desktop. And yeah, it's definitely a far more reliable machine, and all my games run beautifully on it now. Ultima Underworld on high settings runs silky smooth, just like I remembered it being, and really enjoyed playing through that again. And yeah, everything just runs better, smoother, faster, and I definitely recommend getting a Fresh if you're gonna actually ever buy a Towns PC. I'm gonna be honest, now that I've got one of these, I'm gonna tell you the Marty is a piece of shit. The Marty is a collector's piece only. Sure, some of the older games like Rainbow Islands run well on it, but you're far better off with one of these. So yeah, this one's got the 120 meg hard drive. It's got Towns OS version 2.1 installed. Plus, I also discovered that it also has MS-DOS and Windows 3.1 installed on a partition. So it's kind of a neat setup. I don't think I'll ever really use Windows, and I kind of like the idea of the Towns OS because it's a little more unique, especially in this day and age, running into something this old. So we'll flick it on here. There is only the only real negative with the Fresh so far is that they don't they by themselves. Yeah, I don't know what that desktop picture is that came installed on there, but I haven't quite figured out how to change it or mess with that stuff yet. I don't really want to fool around with the OS too much until I figure out what I'm doing. But yeah, as you can see, that baby boots up rather quickly considering there's also Windows 3.1 installed on this thing. So yeah, Towns OS itself kind of looks like a Mac. But yeah, as I was saying, the one real negative that I found so far is that the Fresh doesn't output in 15 kilohertz. If you boot up one of the 15 kilohertz only games, like Turbo Outrun, for example, it still runs fine, but it runs with a border. And at first I thought maybe just the monitor itself didn't support 15K, so I tried my older Towns monitor and it was the same thing. But thankfully there's an easy fix. So what I did was I obviously I pulled out my my Towns Video Card 3 here, which I originally bought to make for the S video to make some videos of, and I slapped it in here. And this video card adds the 15 kilohertz mode back in. So like if you just use the standard output, you can only get the 31K. But if you have one of these nifty little video cards, you can get the proper original 15 kilohertz for the supported games back in your much faster Towns Fresh, which adds that little nice thing back. Oh, by the way, this is my crappiest video cable that I made out of a Sony Vaio keyboard cable. Isn't that beautiful? Yeah, I just took the two cables and spliced them together. And yeah, before anyone, sends me a message that I should really attach the cable grounds, I'm not quite finished. The S video works fine. This unconnected wire is actually the composite video, which I'll probably never use, but I'm going to probably rig it up anyway before I totally finish the cable. But the S video works, and that's really all I want it for. So yeah, I recommend definitely getting a video card if you want that 15 kilohertz, and once I did that, even this later white model also displays in true low res, which is a nice feature to have. I will admit the speaker is kind of crappy. I mean, it sounds fine, but it doesn't sound anywhere near as nice as the one in the older towns. Which, yeah, and the older towns, you can see they were really going for that AV kind of system, because it's got the volume meter thing. This one just has a little volume switch, doesn't have the cool digital LED equalizer thing. But either way, it's still a much better machine. I love the old Intel sticker, and there's a Windows sticker that which says Microsoft Windows ready to run. Like not even Windows 95 or anything like that, just normal Windows. So yeah. Towns OS, yeah, it's similar to an old Mac style OS, really. You can click on stuff and of course it's all in Japanese, but it's not too hard to figure out mostly. If you've got one of these and you're ever confused, by the way, this here selects your default boot drive, which is useful to know because when I first got this I couldn't launch any games because the majority of games will only start on boot up, and it was set to boot up to check from the hard drive first. But once you set that to the CD-ROM, it should work just fine, even when you have Windows on there like I do. Alright, so the CD-ROM doesn't look as cool, but damn, this thing is a beast. Check this out. As you can see, the entire laser assembly is built into the tray. The thing is it's a good solid inch thick. It's beastly. So let's pop something in. Now, and I'm gonna, I don't know, I guess we'll put in. Now, one of the nice things is that it makes a lot of old games faster. I'm gonna upload a video shortly after this comparing, I did a capture of Turbo Outrun, running on the original 386 style, and then running on the new 486 here with the fast mode enabled, because it makes it way better. It practically doubles the frame rate. Maho Daisakusen is also actually playable on this system, but though to be honest, even running in the faster mode, and I did install it to the hard drive, it definitely runs way better. It's playable, but it still has some really wonky frame rate issues. Truth be told, it's kind of a crap port. It's not as good as it could have been, but at least it's actually fun now. But I guess for this vid, we'll put on Galaxy Force 2 here, which, if you look on YouTube, someone uploaded a video of this running off a Marty a long time ago, and on the Marty it kind of runs just so damn slowly that it really just isn't any fun. But when on the 486 here, it actually runs damn well. We're talking a solid 60 frames per second, which, the Saturn version has much better graphics and it's far closer to the arcade, but the Saturn only runs at 30 frames. On here now, this thing runs at 60 frames. It is smooth, silk, and fucking awesome to play, even though graphically, yeah, it's still a big step behind the arcade. But again, this version came out only like, a year or two after the arcade game did. The disc in, so a lot of the games you have to just hit the reset button. Let's see if I can get the camera in a position to. There we go. Dun, dun, dun. But yeah, I'm picking this one because not only does it run much better, but from what I haven't seemed to found a way to force this game into 15 kilohertz. The other Sega titles I have all default to 15K or have it selectable as an option, but
Roger.
This one just seems to be locked in VGA no matter what I do, unfortunately. Though it might be because they did put a border on the game, not for resolution differences, but I think to keep the frame rate up. But either way, I have no way of recording videos of, VGA at this point in time. So,
Roger.
we'll play this one. So it's not, it's far from arcade perfect, but on the 486 it runs silky smooth, which makes it a lot of fun. And this version has a very, very weird soundtrack. I love this version of the soundtrack. It just doesn't make any sense at all. But yeah, of course, the quality's not going to be that great since I'm recording on the camera like this, but if you watch the video of someone playing on an actual Marty, which is the same specs as my older PC, like, God, it runs like shit compared to this. This actually runs smoother than the Saturn version. And in my opinion, is actually more fun to play just for that simple. Though, of course, these days, you're better off just playing the PS2 version, which is graphically perfect, runs at 60 frames. And I believe it even has this soundtrack as a bonus option. So yeah, when I first got this game, and I got this game as part of the Karai Gokkan pack, which is like 5 classic Sega games in one. I tried it like once, and it was like, oh my god, this runs terrible, I can't play this. But now, when I got the 486, it runs so much nicer, and yeah, in my opinion, it plays better than the Saturn port. I suck at this game, by the way. Always have, always will. So yeah, I definitely recommend getting a Towns PC. A lot of people like the idea of the Marty because it's a console and not a full-on computer, but honestly, fuck the Marty. Seriously, you're wasting your money investing in one of those. Unless you're doing it specifically for, the collector's sake of it. Just get yourself... I mean, here in Japan, they're not too hard to get and not too expensive. Obviously, if you're importing, you're probably going to pay a lot for one of the 486 models, but if you're actually crazy enough to import a damn Japanese computer, go for one of these because they actually, far better. And if anyone has any idea how to force this game to 15 kilohertz, let me know, because it runs on a Marty, so obviously it must have a 15 kilohertz mode somewhere, because the Marty only does S-video at best. So, must have one, but it's the only game that just doesn't seem to have an option anywhere of all. The other Sega games in the pack, most of them run it. Like Turbo Outrun, Afterburner 3, default to 15K, and only running 31K if you don't have the compatible monitor. Love the soundtrack in this version. But yeah, so those ones only run in 15K. Last Survivor defaults to high res, but has an option to switch it to low res. But just one game only wants to run in high res. But yeah, I'll definitely probably upload the Outrun comparison vid soon. Turbo Outrun actually was a pretty decent game even on the older model towns. But running on here, it's so smooth. Alright, let's see how far I get. I usually don't make it this far on credit, to be honest. Though it is significantly easier in the arcade. No question about that. This version also has a weird-ass competition mode. It's like, I guess it's for score counting. You just play like the selected level over and over again. It seems more like a practice mode to me, but they call it competition. Alright. Doing too badly today. So yeah, in this version, you rarely ever have to use the brake. Which makes it a lot easier. And who wants to actually hit the brake? Nobody does. You fly through and shoot stuff. Ooh, actually got through the level. Didn't think I was gonna make it. I got about 7 minutes left on the tape. If I actually complete this game, I'm gonna be amazed. But I doubt it. Here we go. Too bad they didn't put this version of the soundtrack in the Saturn version. So again, I do believe it's in the PS2 version. I'm gonna die. Ouch! She ran into the clouds below me. Oh, I should made it to the second fortress. I've never gotten this far on one credit. We only have 400 energy, so we're not going to make it very far, I don't think. Crap. Oh, I wanted to go. Oh, we're dead. Ah, we're done. Boom. Ah, still, best run I've ever had in this one.
Roger. 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 Roger.
But yeah, the older towns is a nice start, and if I can find a cheapo DB25 crossover cable, I might do a tryout. I might see if I can get the 4-player mode and Last Survivor going. And other than that, I don't know what I'm going to do with the old one. I kind of like it, but I just really don't have much use for it. And truth be told, I'm trying to cut down on spare hardware. I don't know, we'll think of something for it. So I hope you enjoyed it, and yeah. It's not as cool looking, but the Fresh is definitely a far better machine to get hold of if you can. Wow. I don't know what the fuck they were smoking when they came up with this version of the soundtrack. But they rule, man. It's awesome. See you later.